Build your network before you need it. That's old advice, but I have to keep repeating it. My name is Bruce Rule. I'm a writer and editor, and I work with my clients on all their communication needs, whether it's social media, reports, articles, speeches, basically anything they need written or edited, I handle. I also teach public speaking workshops, and I work with clients one-on-one in public speaking. Last year, I did publish a book called Heartfelt Goodbye, How to Write and Deliver the Eulogy Your Loved One Deserves. And it's gotten a lot of good reviews on Amazon, got good feedback. I want to talk about networking today because of something that happened this week. Earlier this week, I got a phone call from an editor who I had worked with on an article on a website a while back. And she said, "Do you mind if I reach out and talk to you a little bit about freelance?" All right, she was a freelancer on that website as well as I was. And she called and she said that she's feeling underused. She doesn't have as much work as she'd like. And she sees that I do very well. And she was wondering if I had any advice for her about networking. And I thought of the old saying that has been attributed to the Chinese, not necessarily a Chinese proverb, but some people say it is that, the best time to plant a tree is 30 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Well, the fact of the matter is, the best time to network is years ago when you first started out, before you needed it. And I did that once I found LinkedIn online. What was that, 15 years ago? Maybe. I immediately saw the potential for it. And I immediately started messaging all of my colleagues and anybody I met. Hey, I see you're on LinkedIn. We should connect. Over the years, I've been able to build up a lot of connections for that reason. I have over 2,400 connections on LinkedIn. I have 900 connections on Facebook. I have over 2,000 followers on Twitter. Those were built up over years. You don't start your network when you need your network. You start your network when you don't need it. And the fact of the matter is you start to realize that everybody can be your network. Anybody and everybody. You meet somebody, you go home, you type in their name on LinkedIn. Oh, on LinkedIn. Hey, nice to meet you today at the bar. We should stay connected. Boom. Takes 5 seconds. Takes 5 seconds to do. And so I told her that. And I said, well, have you been active on LinkedIn? Do you have a lot of connections? She said, no, when I left my last full-time job, I sort of fell out of touch with everybody. Maybe I should get back in touch with them. I said, yes, you ought to contact them. Not necessarily push them for work, but just contact them and say, hey, I see you're doing well, thought we'd stay connected. I'm doing freelance. If you hear of anything, let me know. And be very calm about it. But don't wait until you need it. And don't just assume that it's only the people that are in your profession that are going to give you the jobs. Because I'll give you two examples of it. And one of them I've used in the past video about this subject, but it's worthwhile. I published this book last year, and I put it on LinkedIn that I published it. One of the connections that I have on LinkedIn was a man who I met on the commuter train going back and forth to New York. And his son ended up playing on my son's soccer team. So we'd see him on the sidelines. Hey, how's it going? I never knew the guy other than to say, hi, how are you at the soccer matches. But when he saw the book on LinkedIn, it reminded him that, oh, yeah, you teach public speaking. You know what? I'm on this resource committee at my company, and they're always looking for speakers to come in that would help people develop their work skills. And public speaking could be one of them. Do you mind if I give you my team your name to see whether or not they would want you to come in and talk to them. Well, that led to a gig in which I spoke to about 100 people about how to use Zoom better. And then what happened was one of the people that saw the webinar, that was on the webinar, contacted me, and now I'm doing private lessons with that person. Now, this was the guy I just knew from soccer. See what I'm saying? I'll give you another example. I sometimes sell stuff on Amazon and eBay, and there was a local Amazon meetup in my town. So I said, well, I'll pop over, see what's going on. I'm sitting there next to this guy. And I told him, yeah, I sell some stuff on Amazon if I come across an old book or something. And he said, but you're really a writer. I said, yes, I'm really a writer. He said, hey, my wife is looking for somebody to handle social media for her retail store. Do you want to talk to her? So boom, I worked with her for about 5 years. And this is how networking works. You need to be out there doing it, not necessarily when you need it, but all the time. And I really felt bad for this woman. So I looked at her LinkedIn profile. She's got about 340 connections, which isn't bad, but her LinkedIn profile is very sparse. She barely puts any descriptions in on what she's doing. And she has no recommendations. I said, build that up, because that's your business card. And, and I'll tell you, you're out there competing with a lot of young people, and the youngsters get it. The youngsters get it, because both of my sons, one of them's 25, been out of school a few years. One of them's 22. Their LinkedIn profiles really filled out, has a lot of recommendations, has a lot of skills, a lot of certifications. They've both got over 500 connections already. So the young people understand that, hey, networking is important. Get it done early. And I would recommend that for anybody that's listening to this video. I've said this in the past. You want to build your network before you need it, because someday you may need it. What do you do? Do you have any tips on how to build your network? Have you been building a network for a long time? Have you started building your network? If you haven't done it yet, I'd be curious to know what's going on. Please like and share this video, because I think it's important for everybody to understand. You have to build a network before you need it. And please like and share this video, subscribe, because that helps me. And until next week, take care.